Good evening. The evening that we've all been waiting for is here. The one, the only, David Walliams is joining us for one night only. Let's put him straight on. If I click on this button, there we have the beautiful David Walliams. Mr. Walliams, how are you doing? Wow. I think Ernie's a bit of a superstar in his own right, isn't he, these days? Your mother is a beautiful woman. I must admit, I do love seeing all the pictures. You do so much together. Well, I think it's a beautiful relationship that you've got going on with your mum. I think everyone thinks that. Well, I totally agree. My mum is watching tonight. I'm a dad, Kath and Steve. So good evening to them. I thought we could start with a couple of really important questions, David. Is that all right with you? Right, now this is a biggie. Toilet roll, over or under? You know, like hanging over or under. Pardon? It brought. You know, when you put your toilet roll on, does it hang over or under? No. Do you know what, David? I've actually gone really. Oh, this has started so strongly. The next one. I think that's the choice of champions. I've gone so red. So the next one is, if you're having your chips, do you squirt it all over the top or do you dip it?
But then if you have a dinner that's more enticing than his, he just helps himself to your food. So I tend to put the ketchup in the side of the plate so I can dip just in case he doesn't want ketchup.
David, I've got to come clean, right? For the last 4 minutes, there's been no sound on your microphone and it's all my fault. I completely have choked under the pressure and I'm getting all sorts of comments telling me that we can't hear, and I am so sorry.
Again, as if this never happened.
So David, we'll start again, shall we? I can't believe that you've done that. I said that your dog is a superstar in his own right. That is correct, I do believe. We've talked about your beautiful mum. I can't believe that I've choked under the pressure. And I've got literally hundreds of comments of people saying that, David. And they missed out on that fundamental question of toilet roll hanging down neatly or underneath, to which you replied,
hanging down neatly.
Thank you very much. And to the spreading your sauce over your chips or dipping, you said,
I dip because normally if you have chips, someone else wants them.
That is a very good question. Now, this one's a bit random, but would you fancy your chances against 100 duck-sized elephants or one elephant-sized duck?
One elephant-sized duck.
What? Any thinking behind that?
Just, it might turn out to be a fan.
It probably would be, to be totally honest. Now, I've toyed with how appropriate this one is, because it's kind of, it's to do with cannibalism. But somebody sent it in. If you were stuck on an island with Simon, what part of his body would you eat first, and how would you season it?
There's nothing left of him now, because he's gone on he's either had a gastric band or something, or which he denies, or he's gone on some incredible diet, but there's virtually nothing left of him. So it would be hard to find something to eat. I'd say heart, but he doesn't have one. I don't know. I mean, it's literally, I think he lost about 3 stone, and he wasn't overweight. So he's so skinny. I'd suppose I'd have a sort of nibble on his earlobes. I'd have to start with.
And any thoughts on like the seasoning that you might use?
I've got some of the peri peri sauce from Nando's, which I haven't used, so I put that on.
That's brilliant. What about chocolate? Do you keep it in your cupboard or in the fridge?
Well, in the summer, I'd say I keep it in the fridge. There's some chocolate in the fridge, and there's more in the cupboard in case of emergency. And there's stuff in jars. It's all over the house in various different guises. But I think in the summer, it's probably wise to keep it in the fridge.
I think that sounds sensible. Now, this is one of the more random ones that we got sent as well. Would you rather have hands for feet or feet for hands?
Well, I think your hands are very useful, so I'd have them on the end of my legs. For do things, because orangutans and things can do things with their feet, can't they?
Do you know what? I feel like this is like way more intellectual than you were expecting, David. Would that be a fair comment?
No, it would not.
Can I be totally honest? And I'm going to big you up a little bit. In my stalking research that I did earlier on, I didn't realise that you'd done quite as much as you had. You know, you've sold over 25 million books. Is that about right?
That's just this morning. I haven't counted them personally, but there's different figures around. Yeah, so I've done well.
So you've done that. You've been a screenwriter. You've done theatre. I reckon you've had Book of the Year at least 4 times. You've swam the Thames, the Strait of Gibraltar, and the Channel, and you've cycled from one end of the country to the other. Now, I genuinely would really love to know what motivates you. Why? What motivates you to achieve some of the things that you have?
Well, I think the fear of failure is an interesting one, because I think if there's a chance you might fail at something, it makes it interesting to do. So a lot of people, wouldn't want to go near something they might fail at, but to me is interesting. And I have failed in my life and my career, and that's disappointing. But it's better to try and fail than to just not try at all. So I feel like I want to pack a lot into my life, and I feel like I'm very lucky because people know who I am and I've been successful. So I think, well, I don't want to squander that. I don't want to just think, oh, well, I've been successful and I'm just going to just sit on my ass for the rest of my life. I feel like, well, why don't I try this? Why don't I try that? See if I can do that. And it's not all been successful, but I've learned through doing all these different things.
And that's an interesting point, because that's what we try to teach the children, that it's not just about daring to dream and going for it. It's actually being brave enough to actually risk failure, isn't it? And you obviously do that on such a huge scale now. You risk, it's a big risk.
I think so many people, it makes me sad when people say that they'd like to do something but they're too scared to try. Like people say, oh, I'd love to do stand-up comedy, but you wouldn't get me up on that stage. Or oh, I want to write a children's book, but what if it's not any good or something? And you sort of think, oh, that's such a shame, because you don't know till you've tried, and the worst thing that can happen is it doesn't go great. It doesn't make you a bad person if you don't succeed at something, but at least you had a go. So I think it's important, especially for young people, because no young person, wants to not do something because of fear like that. I speak to kids and they go, oh, I want to be a movie star. No, I want to be a pop singer. No, I want to be the Prime Minister. I want to do this. It's brilliant, because they've got all that ambition and optimism. And it's a shame as grown-ups sometimes that kind of gets beaten out of us in some way. And we think, oh, I can't achieve that. I mean, obviously you want to have some realistic things. Like, I'd like to win Wimbledon. Unlikely to happen.
Why not? Why not, David?
I can't play tennis. So the chances of that are slim now, and they're getting slimmer by the day. As long as you have some kind of ambition that it is potentially achievable, then there's no harm in having it. Ernie, can you stop chewing my yoga mat, please?
Can I ask you then? So you've worked incredibly hard. You've had all these amazing experiences and achievements. What now? What do you sit at night and think, do you know what? Given a chance, that's what I'd really love to. Is there anything still that you'd love to achieve?
Oh, lots, yeah. I mean, I'd love to write a really successful movie that, is seen around the world. I mean, imagine if the writer of something like E.T., so everywhere you go in the world, people know this brilliant thing that you created. That would be very exciting. I'd like to be in some movies. I'd like to write more books, but I'd like them to get better and better. And I'd probably like to do some things that so people wouldn't expect me to do, like maybe write something serious, maybe act in something serious, and obviously I'd like to give a good performance if I can. But those kind of things, so there is more to achieve, isn't it? And sometimes people surprise you later in life, don't they? Or they have a big career change, like someone like Michael Palin, who was one of my idols and from Monty Python. And then, you know, he was probably about 50 or something. And then suddenly this whole new career opened up for him as an explorer, you know, so it can happen. And so I think it's kind of got to constantly keep changing, you know, not just stay doing the same thing forever.
Do you think...
So, who's been on Britain's Got Talent for like 8 years.
But you've done Shakespeare in theatre, I do know that bit.
I have. I'm not Anthony Hopkins, but I've done some Shakespeare. I did Midsummer Night's Dream with Sheridan Smith, and I enjoyed that. And the nice thing about that was I thought probably some people came, well, I mean, they told me that they did, like kids came, who wouldn't normally come and see a Shakespeare, but because they knew who I was from television and they were a fan of Sheridan, they gave it a chance, and they might have turned them on to something. I mean, maybe some people thought, well, that's the last Shakespeare I'll ever go and see, but other people, it was their first, and that was a good thing. So you know, you just want to sort of spread some positivity if you can, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. What do you get the biggest kick out of now?
I do get a kick out of writing stories. I think that the really wonderful part of writing books is when the book is finished and it's given to you, you know, as a physical thing like this book, and it's been illustrated and designed and everything, and you go, wow, it was just some ideas in my head, and then it was just some words on a computer screen, and now it's a book, and now kids are enjoying it. And I walked past a house tonight where I was walking Ernie, and some girl saw me through the window of the house, brought out her book and was waving at me and showing her book, and she went, I finished it, like that, and it was so sweet. And you think, wow, what a wonderful thing. So that is a thrill. People, you know, enjoying your work is a real thrill, and that never leaves you.
Just before you do your story, can I ask you also, what's your proudest moment of all the things that you've done? I know you talk about your tune, but what's that one moment that you look back and think, you know, for us, we'd look back on that golden buzzer. We had no idea whatsoever. You know, those tears were real. We cried for days. You know, what's that? Is there a defining moment or a moment that you look back on? You know, when you know you feel a bit grumpy and you think, wow, that was some day.
Well, I mean, you know, mainly being a father is the thing that I'm most proud of, and well, I'm proud of my son, and I, you know, love being with him. But professionally, I think having The Boy in the Dress, which was my first children's book, turned into a musical that the Royal Shakespeare Company did at Stratford-upon-Avon, and Robbie Williams did the songs, and it just turned out so well. And I think watching my story being acted out, and with this added thing of these incredible songs, and then sitting in a theatre and looking around and seeing, you know, hundreds of people all enjoying it and all on their feet at the end, that made me very proud. Because it normally, if you're in something, you're sort of part of it, and it's a little different, you know, like you can't observe it in the same way. So this was strange. I was like outside of it. I was like an audience member of something that I dreamed up, and I could see everyone else enjoying it. So it's fantastic. My dog has now got his squeaky toy. So,
but, you know, I really appreciate. I feel like there's no guard up, and you just, you know, answer them so honestly.
I should have a guard up. Have we got questions from?
We have. Do you want to do some more now?
Well, why don't we do a few now? I'll read a little bit, and then we can do a few more.
Right. Let's have a little look. Sign along with us. Have to say, your most recent golden buzzer, went down to see them. Jade and the gang, absolutely lovely. And Jade has asked, we would like to ask if you'd ever like to learn a few basic signs. Our group would love to show you some.
I would, and shamefully, I don't know very much sign language at all. And I think it's a very useful skill that really everyone should know.
Yeah.
So I need to learn some. I think it's very important. And the act showed us that, wasn't it? It was so inclusive. That's a wonderful thing. And you wouldn't want the idea that, you know, you can't communicate with somebody. And so we should all know some sign language. It should really be taught in school, shouldn't it?
Yeah, I totally agree.
You know, certainly at least basic stuff that we can say hello and we can see if people are all right and all that sort of thing. So yes, I would like to learn some sign language.
When I saw them literally a week after the golden buzzer, honestly, the excitement and the energy in the room when I saw them all, it was a really beautiful thing. And I'm not going to read out what she put, but when you get a chance, they've put a very, very lovely message thanking you for all that you've done for them. So
Well, I didn't do anything. All I had to do.
Well, you have done something, David. You've been very lovely, and I just wanted to say that they've been very grateful. Ella Freeman is asking who would play you in a film of your life.
It would probably be Dame Judi Dench. It's like anyone you come up with is funny. Obviously Leonardo DiCaprio, but if he's not available, Gok Wan.
Gok Wan. That is a flair choice.
But I think we're quite similar in a lot of ways. I actually love Gok Wan. He's lovely. But it would be very funny, wouldn't it? Someone playing you, and if it happens in your own lifetime, must be very weird for the Queen, mustn't it? Watching The Crown. And, whether she likes the people playing or whether she thinks, oh, hang on, why isn't it Angelina Jolie playing? So yeah, anyone would be funny. I think Gok Wan would be a great choice.
He seems like a good bloke as well, Gok Wan. He seems like a nice bloke.
Lovely, really funny, yeah. He's mates with Alan Carr, so I've hung out with him with Alan, and I always have a laugh with Gok Wan.
There are so many comments. I'm not used to so many comments, David, if I'm totally honest.
All right, let's find 3 more, and then we'll do a bit of reading.
Hang on. There's lots of people saying hello.
Yes, well, hello.
Which is a beautiful, beautiful. Could you say hello to my mum and dad, Kath and Steve, whilst I'm searching, David? That would be a beautiful thing.
Hello, mother and father. How are you?
Wow, you delivered that in such a beautiful way.
I never met your mother and father.
No, you haven't. But no, you could do if you want. It might be a bit weird, but if you send your email, your address, I'll.
Yes, I know. At some point, yeah.
I mean, if
obviously because of lockdown, I can't meet them right now. But at some point, I'd love to.
If you tell us where we live, we'll talk to you from 2 meters. If we could get there in an hour, it's allowed. Yeah. Could you say happy birthday to Elliot from school? It's his birthday today, if you don't mind.
Happy birthday, Elliot. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Elliot. Happy birthday to you.
See, somebody wanted to say computer says no, but I find is that a bit weird being asked to do impressions?
God, I mean, I'm a performing monkey. I'll do whatever you Computer says no.
To be fair, I didn't know if that was going to work, but that made me feel a little bit happy inside. Jess Devani asks, what is your favourite book?
My favourite book? Well, I've just been reading all the Roald Dahl books with my son, and we're sort of working on, because of lockdown, we've got more time than we normally would have, so we can sit for, hours a day and read books together. And Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is the one I loved as a kid. It's very special. The Twits, another Roald Dahl book, I didn't read as a child because I don't think it was maybe printed until maybe the 80s. I'm not sure. I probably got that wrong. But whatever. I didn't read it as a kid. But I think that is maybe my favourite because it's so funny and so imaginative. So it's a real joy if you're lucky enough to become a parent to read brilliant children's books with your son or daughter. It's a wonderful thing.
Thank you for that. Do you want to read a little bit of your book, David? Is that okay?
A bit of slime for you. And this is the prologue to the story, and it is called A Brief History of Slime. And eventually, I will actually get to the right page in the book. Slime is one of the great mysteries of the world, if not the greatest. It beats the creation of Stonehenge, laughs in the face of the power of the pyramids, and takes a giant slimy plop on the Loch Ness Monster. Slime. What is it? Where is it? How is it? And why is it? Children demand to know where slime came from, and grown-ups are desperate to know if it is ever going back. For the first time in history, the legend of slime can finally be told. All will be revealed in this book, which might be the most important book ever written. Some experts believe that slime dates back billions of years. Their theory is that when Earth was created, it was nothing more than a sea of slime. Out of that slime came more slime, and out of that slime came more slime. Then, of course, out of that slime came even more slime. It remained buried under the earth for billions of years, until now. Others suppose that at the dawn of the time, a giant meteor of slime crash-landed into the earth. On impact, billions of gallons of slime exploded into the air, covering every living thing in thick slime. This explains why the dinosaurs died out. They got slime. There is another theory that many years ago, slime-based aliens from a slime-based planet, the planet Slime, flew in a slime-based spaceship into the Earth. Once on Earth, they taught ancient civilizations all about slime, how to construct buildings out of slime, the best recipes to cook with slime, and most importantly, how to make socks out of slime. Then the slime-based aliens got in their slime-based spaceship and whizzed back to their slime-based planet, the planet Slime, and they never came again. But they left the secret of slime with the human race, so children could torment grown-ups with it forever. The truth is rather different. Slime was actually created more than 50 years ago on a remote island, the Isle of Mulch, to be precise. It is situated in the middle of the great north, south, east, western sea, between the islands of Twaddle and Sandwich. How do I know all this? Because I just made it up. There we go.
Thank you so much, David.
That's right. We've time for 3 more questions.
Right. So the questions are: Claire Tomlinson has said, "Do you like Matt Lucas's baked potato song?"
Just imagine if I said no. What a awful human being I would be. No, it's great, and it's been fantastic. And I think a genuine surprise to Matt that it took off in the way it did. And he did all these amazing duets and everything. I mean, I'd love to do a duet with him, but I actually can't sing. So I think best to leave it to the Gary Barlows and Brian Mays and all these amazing legends he's got to sing with him. So it's brilliant, yeah. And good for him because it's raised a lot of money and also it's taught people who might not have otherwise engaged, with these rules that we're now living under. It's got kids and other people who wouldn't necessarily engage with it. So well done to Matt Lucas.
Good answer. Haley Tarry asks, where do you get your inspiration from for your characters?
Well, lots of different places, and sometimes you meet people in real life who give inspiration to characters. Like, we once had a man come onto Britain's Got Talent who his name was Cockroach Ken, and he ate live cockroaches. And it got me thinking, a man who eats live cockroaches, what else might he do? Might he turn rats into burgers? And might he sell those burgers from a van parked outside a school? And that became the story Rat Burger. So you never know when you might get ideas. And it's best, if you're a writer, to keep your eyes and ears open at all times, because you never know when a good idea might come along.
Wow, strong answer, Mr. Williams. Willow has asked, if you were a superhero, who would you be?
I'd be Batman because he's got a lot of cool stuff. And I like the idea of a Batmobile and a Batcopter and a Batcave and a butler. That would be good. So I think I'd be Batman. I think it's weird because Batman doesn't have any superpowers. He only has superpowers because of the things he's got. But somehow he still is like the coolest superhero.
If you did have a superhero, what would it be?
I think flying, that'd be a good one, wouldn't it? I think if you could genuinely fly everywhere, that would be wonderful. So yeah, flight. I think that's a dream of people all over the world for millions of years. So that's what I'd like to do, fly. I'm
with you on that one. David, I can't tell you how much you've made my night and everybody else's. Thank you so much.
Anytime. Well, I mean, anytime.
I mean, I'd be careful now because I've got your Skype details.
Not tomorrow, but sometime in the future, let's do it again. It's a lot of fun.
I've really, really appreciated it, David. You're a top bloke. You're a good man. Thank you very, very much.
Really talking to you and wishing everybody, sending love to everybody, and I hope everyone's getting on okay. And one day this will be over and we can all hug each other again, and that'll be a fantastic day.
Lovely thing to end on. Thank you, David. Good night, mate. Cheers. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.